I spent so many years in post-production. I know what luxury looks like, and I know that AI alone isn't enough to get there.
First of all, we need to understand filmmaking logic with AR.
Today, I'm breaking down the 10 principles I use to make this 70 seconds commercial. I'm going to show you how to move from prompting to filmmaking. Let's look at the final film, and then we'll dive into the workflow.
Shadows walk the marble hall, a silent gaze against the wall. In the silver, someone new, a different shade of what is true. The glass is cold, the light is deep, a secret that we both can
If you want to create a spec ad, go and create your own product. Don't copy what just exists already. Most people prompt a generic product, but with Dia, I double created a brand identity and a cinematic concept. Inside FLORA, I didn't just generate a bag. I moved from sketch design to a 3D product.
Thank you, Claudia. Now let me walk you through how we built these from scratch. We start with a detailed text block. Here we define the architecture, the trapezoidal body, the signature cut clasp, and the specific matte luxe leather textures. To get a professional output, we don't just prompt for an image, we prompt for a layout. We're requesting a comprehensive sketch sheet with specific dimensions, 25 centimeters wide, and callouts for the hardware details. Hit enter to generate the detailed ChatGPT 5.2 prompt. You can see all the details it added in the prompt as instructed. We then pipe that data directly into the image block. We'll use the Nano Banana Pro model, optimized for high-fidelity technical precision, and set our canvas to a cinematic wide aspect ratio 16:9. The system interprets the technical specs, the material notes, and the requested viewing angles to synthesize a cohesive design document. The result is a professional-grade architectural sketch. We have our three-quarter perspective, precise elevations, and even material swatches, all perfectly aligned with our original vision. This is the future of rapid, high-end product design. With our architectural sketch finalized, we can now use it as a visual anchor to move into photorealistic 3D rendering. I'm connecting the sketch to a new text block to generate a bridge prompt. We want to visualize this limited edition bag in two specific colorways, obsidian black and deep emerald, optimized for a 3D turntable first frame. The system expands our request into a detailed technical brief. It specifies the side-by-side composition, exact geometry, and studio lighting to ensure the render adheres strictly to the proportions we established in the sketch. Now we pipe that refined prompt into the image block. We'll stick with the Nano Banana Pro model and a cinematic 16:9 aspect ratio. And there it is, a perfect photorealistic execution. The materials, the signature cut clasp, and the structural integrity of the design are preserved perfectly. This connected workflow allows us to maintain design continuity from sketch to final asset.
Then, having a brand philosophy, the constant in your change, gave every AI shot, every AI generation a mission. So, get inspired, but create your own. Once your product and your cast are designed, you created them already, don't just go to create your images or your shots already. Create your assets. You need to build a vault. I created the two characters, basically, the woman in black and white, in every possible angle. And I did the same for the bag, not only one bag, the two bags, and then take out the inconsistent ones, remove them, delete them, and keep the good ones as your assets.
Pre-production requires more than a single hero shot. So we start by establishing the product's visual vocabulary. I'm connecting the 3D bag we previously generated to a new text block asking to generate a bridge prompt. Give me a prompt to generate 6 different angles of the 3D green bag, taking into consideration the original sketch sheet design. It's important not to forget to connect what you're mentioning in the prompt to the image node. So it prompted for a 2x3 contact sheet to capture 6 distinct camera angles of the deep emerald bag, instructing about all the details from angles to materials to lighting and composition. And there you go, our beautiful bag in all angles requested. To prepare our character assets, we use a single reference shot of our model to generate a comprehensive visual library, including full body front, back, 3/4 view, different close-up angles. And here I'm asking for several prompts, one for each angle, because you will see how this will work next. You will love it. Here's the breakdown of the prompts we got, then click on the magical button, split list into blocks, and voila, each prompt in a block. Now we feed the prompt to Nano Banana Pro image while connecting the image to our main reference image, otherwise it will just generate a random woman. Don't forget this detail. This process allows us to lock in critical details, like the silhouette of the trench coat and specific footwear, ensuring total design continuity across different scenes. This level of pre-production ensures that every frame of the final film remains story-driven, professional, and visually cohesive.
These are your anchor assets that you'll use as references later on to keep consistency in your character and in your bag. Efficiency is everything. I used to jump between Photoshop and whatever AI platform I use to do the inpainting, the retouching here and there. Now, inside FLORA, I have the option to do the inpainting, to do those little changes. And it's amazing basically because I don't have to jump between FLORA and Photoshop and then back and then export and then import again. It's time saving and it's efficient. When you're directing a 70 seconds ad or a longer films, basically, staying in the flow will help you manage all these number of blocks without you losing your mind. Back to logic again. Some shots, they require more than a prompt. They require a strategy, like the mirror shot, the reflection that I have at the end of the ad. For the mirror transition, I have to solve what we call like a physics problem, basically. AI doesn't understand naturally, and even in the traditional way, we can't shoot like different identities in the mirror. We need compositing, we need post-production for it. So what I did is I generated the woman in black with her reflection. I made sure that her reflection is exactly the same as her. Then I generated the woman in cream, silk, in the same position as the woman in black. And then I took both. I removed the woman in black in the mirror and I replaced her with the woman in white. I'm sure some AI creators use different ways to achieve this shot, but this is my workflow and this is the way I did it and it worked. Now for the video, I really love Seedance 1.5. Like the new model, it's amazing. I used it like in 80% of my shots for the realism, for understanding my prompts, instructions for the multi-shots. The realism and the skin textures and the fluid movement is really top. And on top of that, the audio. So now it generates audio as well. And even if you don't use it in your final edit, but it's a good reference for your sound design phase later on. Project management. It's important you organize your file, especially when you're working with node-based system like FLORA. It's important you organize because, listen to me, you will lose your mind. When your workflow grows, it gets really messy. When you're working on 2 minutes film, it gets messy. My workspace in FLORA has a massive amount of blocks. So what I do is that I group my images on the top and then later on I put the video shots in groups on the bottom. Whenever I want to open my project later on, maybe in 1 month, to retrieve something, I don't have to search everywhere to find it. Keep your workspace as clean as your final export. So, the Packshot. How do you end a commercial? Usually with a Packshot. The Packshot is very important, but sometimes it's tricky when your commercial is cinematic and then you want to transition to a product. So what I did is I made sure that the transition between the real world, let's say, and the Packshot is seamless. The way the leather texture transitions into off-white background goes with the luxury fashion commercial. So it's really important to know from the beginning how you will end your film. The consistency is not only in the shots or in the products, it's also in the lighting and in the grading. My workflow is that I try to lock the color and the look from the beginning, from the moment I generate my images. Because you all know we don't have the dynamic range that we have in our camera footage, this flexibility to change our colors later on. So ideally, and it's better to always lock color grading from the beginning, from the moment you generate your key images, before even moving to animating them. So make sure your final color correction is basically like a touch-up rather than a full reconstructive surgery.
A different shade of what is true. The glass is cold, the light is deep. A secret that we both can keep. Silk and stone, a soft embrace.
I've always said that audio is 50% of any film production. For Dia, the first approach is that I took the sound that was generated with the videos as my reference. I tried to generate similar ones. Some of them I use them as they are, and some of them I tried to regenerate them using 11 Labs. Then I created a custom song with the Suno. And the lyrics, they are not random, they are the sonic embodiment of the story. Finally, a tip for when things go wrong. I realized that the rings of the bag are not the same. I didn't want to lose that shot basically. So what I did is that I took it into Kling 01. I used it as the rescue precision tool, took the video and the bag image, and I asked Kling to change the rings, only the rings of the handle, to match the original bag. And it's actually what saved the sequence because I didn't want to lose the first shot.